Okay. Well, should we get into our rankings?
Absolutely.
All right. So with the rankings, we like to do it at the start of the season. If this is your first episode, my goodness. But we like to rank the songs at the start of the season. And then when we're done with the season, we do a post-cap episode. And we rank the songs at the end and kind of make a comparison to see what rose, what fell, what surprised us. So these are our initial rankings for My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Ooh, how exciting. Again, I have deja vu. Didn't I do this already?
Right. I kind of wanted to find my previous list just to see what had shifted between even last year and right now.
Should we? Should I pull that up?
Do you have it?
I'm pretty sure it's somewhere in my Google Drive. I'll look for it, but if I don't have it... Oh, wait, I have your rankings right here.
Okay.
Yours popped up before mine did.
Can you...
Yeah, let me share this.
Just
you're in there. Oh, no, wait, this is your new one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's my new one.
Oh, JK.
Okay. Well, now you saw all my rankings.
I didn't look at them, though, so don't worry about
it. Okay, good.
I have my old rankings here, too. Should I go through those as well?
Yeah. Do you see any, like, big changes?
If anything jumps out. Yeah. I'll note them as we go through.
Okay. I'll try and find mine. You can start.
It's funny how similar it is, actually. Wow, pretty similar. Anyway, so we're including the outro and the interlude, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the kind of situation we had on Donda where I have to like rank,
I found mine.
Yeah. Oh, great. What's that song everyone hates on Donda? Tell the Vision.
Oh, Tell the Vision. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's that situation where I'm trying to rank Tell the Vision against like Off the Grid. It's ridiculous. But I guess I hate to do this. I don't want to rank any song last from this album, but I feel obligated to rank the two like non-songs at the bottom. So if I'm forced to do that, I'm putting All of the Lights interlude at the bottom.
Yeah, yes, we have all the tracks, right, which includes the interludes, and I also have All the Lights interlude.
Which I love 13. That song though, like even because it's
beautiful.
Like I just throw every Kanye song on my running playlist and just keep it. And if All the Lights interlude comes on, like it puts a pep in my step. Like even that song doesn't slow me down. I love it.
Yeah, it's tremendous. It's beautiful. It's fragile. It's haunting. It's just
before all the light blows up.
It's crazy. It's just the songs have more dimensionality to it, and it makes sense to respect the fact that they're full songs. So
yeah. And then I got Who Will Survive in America, which I guess if I really wanted to do something controversial, I could rank this higher because I love it so much because of the structure of the album, and it's kind of the cap to everything. But I did put it in 12th place.
Yeah, same thing. I could have moved it higher. I think at least like 11.
Yeah.
But I have it above All the Lights interlude just because Gil Scott-Heron, his performance, the lyrics, like I'll take lyrics over like beautiful strings.
Sure. Yeah.
So I mean, if it's bad lyrics, I'll take beautiful strings, but it's like poignant. I like the beat. Like, so Who Will Survive in America ends up at 12.
All right. So then my number 11 this time is the same number 11 I had last time, which is So Appalled.
Also my number 11 and was my previous number 11.
Wow. This is exciting to get 4 rankings at the same time.
Yeah.
Definitely not annoying.
If our show wasn't doing too much to begin with.
I mean, maybe I should go back and find our rankings that we did back in 2016.
Oh my goodness. Find them.
So I love So Appalled to Death. Like, again, there's not a single song on this album that's a miss, and not a single one I would take off my running playlist. So like, that I'm not dissing this song at all. But I guess if I had to put something at the bottom, the Posse tracks, like I love them, but I love when Kanye's weird. I love when Kanye's like a storyteller. I love when he's cinematic. Like So Appalled is kind of the most traditional in a way of like all the songs on the album. And while I love everybody on it, like I like myself a Kanye song where it's just Kanye doing his thing. So I have to put it at the bottom.
Yeah, I I always thought my reasoning was really good and that people, once they heard it, would be like, yeah, that makes sense. That's fine. And nobody ever accepts my reasoning. But it's just, to me, it's the song on the album that has the least yay on it. And
that's true.
I want my songs to have more yay rather than less. So if one song has like drastically less yay on it, that's the song that's probably going to end up last on the rankings, unless it's just something with like production or concept. And with this, it's just the one that has the least amount of yay.
Right.
Other verses are fantastic on it. I love like what everybody's doing.
Yeah.
But it's just the one that I'm most excited when it transitions to Devil in a New Dress and we get more yay.
Yeah, right.
Like,
we've said this on the show before, Chris. Like, your love of art and Kanye, it's all about math in the end. Like, is there enough that, like, there's less Kanye on this than that, so like the equation says it's worse.
Yeah, I do somehow turn discussions on the intangibles of art into mathematical.
I love it. So by this logic, by the way, Praise God is like your least favorite song on Donda, right?
Which is funny. No, you think that it would be, but it's just like the weirdness of that song.
Yeah.
And the beats and yeah.
Wow. So the algorithm was off on that song, but usually the math works out.
Usually.
Yeah.
It's 100% right 70% of the time.
God, I'm looking at my number 10. I'm wondering if I should swap number 10 to number 9. I'm not going to. I'm going to stick with it.
Okay.
And this ranking is the same as my last list. And this is one of my controversial ones. And I know people are going to be in an uproar about it. It's going to be in the headlines tomorrow, but I'm going to say it. Number 10 for me is Gorgeous.
Ooh, man. Yeah, you've always been less of a fan of Gorgeous than everybody else in the world, which is...
I hate it because, like, even you saying that, like, it feels wrong. Like, I have a Kanye podcast. I probably do love Gorgeous more than most people in the world.
Right.
Again, like, kind of what I said of So Appalled, like, I like myself a Kanye who's being weird as shit. While I do love lyrical Kanye, like, his lyricism in this song is incredible. Just, like, the flow, the production, like, everything about it is a little... standard. Even calling it standard is ridiculous because it sounds so incredible. But it compared to everything on the album, I'm just somebody who really, like, my favorite movie is Showgirls, and I want every song to be Showgirls. And Gorgeous isn't really Showgirls, you know? It's like, it's this really, like, well thought out masterpiece and, like, very detailed, like, those are all, like, good points, and, like, this is very well done. But it's not a song that gets me jazzed.
So you're saying it's too perfect and too great for you to love.
Yes, that's correct.
Travis.
I do love it, though. You're going to hear how much I love it when we talk about it. I will redeem myself.
Yes, of course. At number, this was 10 that we're talking about. I have one that's going to make people mad, maybe even more so than your pick.
Oh, wow.
And it was my number 10 last time, but All of the Lights.
Oh, All of the Lights. I thought you were going to say something else. Yeah, well, I knew this about you, though. That has a lot of Kanye on it, though. Although a lot of other people are in there clouding it up. Is that why you don't like
right?
it?
No, I don't know what it is. There's just like something. It's not that I don't like it. I love it. It's awesome. I get hyped every time it comes on.
It's
but
the 10th best song ever.
Yeah, it's just... There's something about Ye's like flow on it, and then the Fergie portion, like I tend to like verses more than refrains, and it's one of the few songs where I like the refrains more than the verses.
Sure, I get that.
And so that just kind of has it, and I don't think it has like sections that hit me quite as hard as some of the other songs. So when I'm looking at them, it's like So Appalled has the least amount of yay, and All of the Lights has like the fewest lyrical moments that I'm like super into.
Right.
I really like what the song is doing, especially as it serves as kind of our introduction to the Oz
totally
aspects.
It serves its purpose.
yeah, this album. So in terms of the importance on the album, it would be ranked super highly. But just in terms of my love for it compared to some of the love I have for the other songs, number 10.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me with you. Like, I think of you as somebody who loves something like Blame Game, you know? Like something that's very intentional and postmodern and like I guess I don't think of you as somebody who loves like bright, bubbly, like all over the place, stylized kind of thing. Like you really like something that's focused and like doing something very specific. And All of the Lights is like, it's craziness, you know, it's meant to be as manic as it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Number 9 for me has not changed. Number 9 for me is Monster.
Ooh, Posse Cut.
Yeah, God, I damn, it is crazy. I could maybe move it up to number 8. I'm not going to. I'm going to stick with it. Yeah, it's a little bit of that, like a little. I mean, calling Monster traditional is completely batshit. But it kind of is in a way, you know, like everyone gets their turn to like do their thing and there's a theme. It's incredible song. I still defend Jay-Z to this day. Like, trust me, I'm a huge fan. And I have a lot of history with it. But for whatever reason, like all of the nostalgia and like love I have for it and the weirdness of it, like all of that combined, like it just doesn't, that's how good this album is. Like all the other songs just like are doing a little bit more.
Did you say it was your previous number 9 as well?
Yes.
Okay. So you've been like, yours have stayed the exact same.
I did not consult the list last time, so this time.
So my 11 and 10 were the same, but my 9's different. My previous 9 was Gorgeous, and I adore Gorgeous, so it's just crazy that it's that low. But right now I have I'm gonna make another switch, and this is gonna make people mad.
I was gonna say this is the song what I think you're going to say is the song I thought you were going to say before.
Yeah, I have Devil in a New Dress at 9.
And that's my number 8. So we can just go ahead and talk about it at the same time.
Yeah, it was my previous number 8.
It was my previous number 7, so it's moved down.
It's moved down for both of us. This is a song that has incredible moments, and like we both say Magic Hour all the time, right?
Oh, like, I mean, I love the song.
The Magic Hour. And of course the Rick Ross like feature is incredible. There's just something about like kind of I'm not as into slower songs like this as everybody else. So there's something just about kind of some of the production that I like a little bit more of the pace and energy of the songs that I have ranked higher. And I like how weird those songs are. So it's like Devil in a New Dress, while it's very like beautiful and has this kind of like ooziness to it, this like cool ooziness to it.
Totally.
Especially with when the guitar kind of comes in.
It's a song that struts around.
Yeah, I just don't think it's as weird as the others, and I like the weirdness of the others.
Yeah, so. I've always been a little surprised Kanye fans love it as much as they do. Like I get liking something like, I guess, and now that I'm thinking about it, it's like Runaway in a lot of ways. Like it has like, it's massive. It has this like gigantic presence, you know, and it's so effortless in the way it like feels cool and navigates like all of this really interesting like instrumentation. Like it's a song that just like oozes confidence. So I guess I get why people like it, but to me it's not on the level of something like Runaway that really feels transcendent and like does all kinds of different things throughout and reaches like this high emotional place that I know I'm experiencing something like truly different. I just have never really gotten that with Devil in a New Dress. Like impresses the hell out of me every time I hear it. I love it. Like I have it ranked number 8. I don't have it at the bottom or anything. Like I think it's great, but yeah, I don't know why. It's just like that's a weird separation I've always had between me and Kanye fans.
What's funny, I remember the exact moment I realized people loved the song more than I thought. They were doing a poll on Our Kanye back in the day. I think it was like 2015, 2014 Our Kanye or something. And it was an elimination to see what was the best song. We hadn't started the best song tournament yet, I don't think. But Devil in a New Dress came in second.
Yeah.
And was close to beating Runaway.
Wow.
And everybody was kind of surprised by it in the comments.
Yeah.
But everybody was kind of like discovering that they loved the song as much as all these other people. And it was this very like illuminating thing. And ever since then, it was consistent across like Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, like anywhere there are Ye fans gathered. Yeah, our song tournament, it won this last year, right?
It won the
year before?
I think it was the third year, yeah.
Okay.
Because it was Runaway, then St. Pablo, then I think Devil in a New Dress. No, wait.
No. It was Runaway, Blood on the Leaves.
My bad, yeah. I should know this.
Then Devil in a New Dress?
Maybe it was that or St. Pablo. You're right. It was one of those years.
Yeah. Man, that's coming up soon, too.
Ooh, and then Flashing Lights. After Flashing Lights won, I have no idea what song could win from now on. Like, it's completely up in the air.
I think it's going to be Power, right?
It's crazy if it's not Power. If it's not like, it's got to be like Power or Ghost Town or probably Power though. Yeah, you're right.
Donda songs didn't do well in the last tournament, so
I don't know if they'll ever do well. Off the Grid is the only one I could say ever would legitimately have a shot.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Well, Come to Life. Sorry, Come to Life, of course.
That was your number 8 was Devil in a New Dress. So my number 8 is Dark Fantasy, which previously this had been my number 7. So it dropped a spot, which is kind of wild to me.
Interesting.
But yeah, Gorgeous was the one that went up above it. Oh wait, I didn't reveal that yet. Anyway, well, Dark Fantasy's at 8. It's amazing. It has one of my favorite stretches on the album when he's just talking about like like rebuild the energy, like re-kill the enemy. Like that stretch is so cool to me,
man.
And what's worse, the pain or the hangover?
See,
maybe it should go higher.
I was gonna say like Dark Fantasy is so incredible. Like I'm just, it's just a weird thing I can't define. Like I don't know why people love Devil in the New Dress more than something like Dark Fantasy. Like to me, this song oozes confidence and like has such energy and presence. Like it could have easily become a Devil in a New Dress. I don't know what propelled Devil in a New Dress to those heights necessarily, but yeah, I think Dark Fantasy is just on another level.
That guitar, the guitar riff on Devil in a New Dress and Rick Ross.
Yeah,
that does it.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I'm not dissing the song, but
I know. But Dark Fantasy is like, it's such a mood setter. Like Ye's delivery on those first verses, fantastic. Like all the verses are fantastic.
Ooh, gosh, I'm making some shifts now after
the first year that I blow. They say broken Spanish, me no hablo.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah, great song. We're going to be talking about it shortly, so I guess we don't need to get into it too much.
Okay.
Number 7, which last time for me, number 7 was Devil in a New Dress. And now my number 7 was my number 8 last time, which, I'm sorry, Chris, to do this to you, is Blame Game.
Hey, at least it rose a spot.
Yeah, that's true. Love the song to death. I mean, I listened to it recently, and, I had headphones on, and it's just like those voices bouncing back and forth. Like,
yeah,
the song really is on another level. Like, it is an art exhibit. Like, it's truly transcendent in that way. I think that what I always fall back on, though, is like there are just other songs I want to listen to more. Even in the context of the album, like I'm more excited for other songs. And as a song, it's not like a real song, which is stupid to say, but whatever. But yeah, I love this song to death, and I can't wait to talk about it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad it's risen up just a little bit. I spoiled my number 7. It is Gorgeous.
Yep. And
Gorgeous is one, and talked about it the first time we talked about it. I'll do a deep dive into it the second time we talk about it, but it's one of the best examples of how Ye uses vignettes in his lyricism to really like give structure to a verse, to bring in different ideas, to just give visuals that aren't just thoughts or aren't just like clever remarks, but he gives you like 2 to 3 lines where you're a person, place, like scene, setting, and you really get this like visual of an interaction. And it can be very brief, just like take them glasses off and get in the pool. She told the director she's trying to get into school. He said, take them glasses off and get in the pool. That in and of itself is such a statement about like this dynamic between those with power and those who are younger and looking to like establish themselves, and how that works, like the male female dynamic in industries like this, the what's valued, there's so much that's just like stated in those 2 lines without Ye actually having to say it, but because he's giving you that vignettes, it's all of the themes and subtext of it. And Gorgeous is just full of vignette after vignette after vignette after vignette that he just strings them along, and you're getting a ton of depth without him actually saying like, this is what I'm talking about, or like telling you. It's such a great example of how great of a storyteller Ye is by showing.
Right.
And I think people really like his rapping on it, while maybe overlooking some of what makes him an amazing storyteller, and why we will say like Ye's just as good of a storyteller as Kendrick or J. Cole or Jay-Z. And people are like, no, he's not, because he doesn't have a song that's like this just straight up, and it's like, no, but he's doing this and nobody else is doing it.
Chris, you just got to create a math equation for him that resolutely says like, no, this is true.
Maybe I can figure it out. If Y equals Y for Ye, you know?
All right. We're on to number 6. For me, I was sitting here actually changing the positions of 5 and 6 a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and go with what I had, which is what I had last time. I'm now realizing. Number 6 for me is Dark Fantasy.
Okay.
Love it. Love it to death. Maybe I can't quite put it up further. I don't know what's keeping me from doing it, because it's like, it's so theatrical. Like, it's not necessarily like a song in a way. But I love it for being theatrical, so I guess that's not a good reason. I don't know. It's at number 6, though.
Okay, that's fair. That's fine. My number 6, I think, is... I don't know how I feel about it. Okay. It was previously my number 4. I'm just trying something different right now,
sure.
You know? Seeing...
This is a free, open space, safe space.
Between us, not on... on.
You will be pummeled.
Yeah, but I have Power at number 6 right now.
That was the one I almost moved to number 6.
Yeah, I had it at 4 previously, and it's dropped down to 6 as a couple others have risen up. I love Power. Still has some of... I think that second verse on Power is one of Ye's best verses of all time. And how he's sampling the dynamics, the way that this song serves as a transition to the rest of the album, like a gateway to the Dark Twisted Fantasy, means that it's like a very important song on the track. Oh man, and the clapping and the sample. Am I crazy? I don't know.
It's just how good Kanye is that he can have 5 songs better than this.
Yeah, there's just something about like the vibe of the other 5 songs that I'm really like feeling at the moment. And I was re-listening to the album this week, and just when the songs that I had above it came on, I found myself kind of just having a little bit more of that spark of like, oh yeah, here we go.
Yeah, I totally get that. Like, even though this song isn't commercial like Kanye says it is, like I kind of get how he gets to that point and thinks of it that way. Like when you compare Power to something like Devil in a New Dress or Runaway, like it almost starts to feel ordinary in a way. It's definitely not. Like I listened to it recently and was really blown away by it. But yeah, I kind of get that. That's why I have it at 5. Like the 4 I have above it to me are like, there's something next level, like celestial about them. Towards Power, I listen to it, I'm like, this is so well done. This is so impressive. But it's not quite a Kanye song that like, that makes me think I should have put it at number 6, but I'm just going to keep it here at number 5.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It was my number 5 last time too.
Man, so your list is almost identical.
So far, but we're going to see some changes.
Okay. My number 5 is Monster, which had previously been my number 6. I just fucking love Monster.
Yeah, I mean, what else is there to say other than like it's Monster?
Right? Like I think Ye saying I call it Malibu, yeah, is still one of my favorite, like a top 10 moment in Ye's discography. To me, if I'm just going like straight up line that always cracks me up and that I look forward to hearing, like that one, it has so many good lines.
Yeah, it's incredible. Love it.
And that it's one of the few songs, like, I know Ye has a lot of posse songs and that a lot of the time everybody sticks to the theme, but there's something just kind of like epic about this theme and the fact that it like started Nicki's entire like A-list career. Like it didn't start her career, but her A-list career, I think it kind of kicked off. And Ye's verse, I don't think you get that attitude and energy and tone from any other verse in his discography at this point. There's such arrogance and there's such untouchability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jay's a zombie of no conscience. I mean, it has everything.
I love Jay-Z's portion, like him, like the millionaire bar.
It's incredible.
And millionaire and spilling their feelings in the air, like getting that like syllable rhyme.
Yeah.
And
love it. Love it. Love, love it. Number 4 for me used to be number 3. It is All of the Lights. I think you already heard me just pour out my feelings about how I love that song, so no need to go further into that. Okay.
Mine will probably be a little more controversial of a number 4.
Every choice is controversial.
I know. I have Runaway at number 4.
Yeah, that's for our show. I kind of get that. Like we really go into the weeds of like, you know, something like Hell of the Life or Blame Game, like sussing those songs out. Like Runaway, like it almost feels ordinary compared to those, just because like it's so specific in what it's doing, you know.
Yeah, I'm on record a lot of saying I really like dimensionality. Like the more like twists and turns a song kind of takes, or the more weird choices it does, I really like. It's one of the things that the reasons I put Diamonds from Sierra Leone, the original song, as my favorite song on Late Registration at this point, just because that song is so unfolding.
Right.
Where that second verse is like wildness that I'm just in love with it. And Runaway is one of the most striking and powerful songs in Ye's entire discography. And it enraptures me every time I hear it. But as you're saying, it is just so specific to that thing that the dimensionality of the songs that I have ahead of it kind of went out for me.
Yeah. I mean, I have it at my number 3. It used to be my number 2. It's, I agree with you that like the one dimensionality that like, maybe that's why I don't quite catapult it, but listening to Runaway is not like listening to any other song in the world.
No.
So
absolutely
like
not.
The transcendence you find on that song, like that is the 2001: A Space Odyssey moment of the album. Like it has a power that songs don't have. So it has to be high, but I think you kind of said like the reason the other songs are higher is it's because of this show, because we really go in there and we find stuff out, and like songs expose themselves and reveal themselves to be deeper than we thought they were, and it doesn't necessarily make them better than Runaway. It's just like there's more to discover. We like that about them.
Yeah, it's like I think the listening experience, Runaway might be like the best song in the album, as you're just like swept up in it. But in terms of like the concepts, the concept, like when we start getting like logical.
The sexiest thing to do in podcasting.
Yeah. There's just things of the other songs, and that's not even to say that like every time I listen to Blame Game, I just feel blown away by it. So it's not like these other songs have no power. It's just they have power, maybe a little less than Runaway, but also maybe doing a lot more.
Yeah, right. Okay, so we're on the number 2. We're almost there.
Oh wait, I didn't do my number 3.
My bad. Go ahead.
Blame Game. I got Blame Game at number 3.
I kind of thought that'd be 2 or 1.
It had been number 2.
Wow.
That's what I was talking about.
Wow.
Like, so Blame Game, I love and adore, and I feel like is one of the most underrated songs in Ye's entire discography. And I'm looking forward to our episode on it, where hopefully we convince other people that it's amazing and they should never skip the outro.
Oh gosh, you can't skip the outro. Oh, yeah, you're right. That's the new mission we have.
Yeah.
All right. Number 2. I think we probably have the same number 2, number 1. If I'm gonna guess.
I think so.
My number 2 this time was my former number 1, and that is "Lost in the World," which I think is a big moment for me, because for a long time it was my absolute favorite Kanye song. Songs have taken over since. Like I think "Waves" has probably taken over, and "Ghost Town" had taken over at some point. But yeah, "Lost in the World," I've always loved it to death. I love it as a cap to the album. Bon Iver, like the images, the poem, the lead into "Who Will Survive in America." I mean, everything about the song is just perfect.
This was one of the songs that we did do the interpolations and samples and the Michael Jackson stuff that comes in the song. Yeah, it just like elevates it to such like another level. But even back, I remember when I heard this album for the first time, being so blown away by Blame Game, and then when "Lost in the World" came on, I just kept going back to "Lost in the World" over and over again, because it's amazing. Like I didn't want it to end.
Yeah, and it's cool because it's a song that like it kind of isn't really like a traditional song, like the sort of beginning, middle, and end, like the verses that build on each other, the chorus that like has a new element added to it at some point. Like it's a song that just kind of like feels like it should keep going, and it does keep going, I guess, into "Who Will Survive in America." But it's a song that like has momentum the whole time, and then just like comes crashing to an end all of a sudden. You know, it's such a it's like the postmodernist Ye at work here. Like it's such a cool way to approach a song. I don't know. I agree with you. Like that feeling, the best way to describe it is like you just want to listen to it again. Like it has that weird effect on you.
Yeah, and there's something with like the pacing where it starts so slow and starts to ramp up, and then not only does the music pick up when you transition from Bon Iver or Justin Vernon into Ye's first verse, but then when you start getting to that pacing and rhythm of the poem, it's just such like an increase in the words per minute aspect of it that the song just like keeps picking up. So it's my number 2 as well. It was my number 5, so it's jumped up 3 spots. Yeah.
Wow, big change.
Yeah.
The next one's a big one for me, a big jump for me. It was my number 4 before. And Chris, I got to say, you've been on this train since the beginning, right?
Yeah, since the early days. I think when we first may have ranked the album in like 2016, 2017, I might have still had Runaway at 1. This was always like 1, 2, or 3.
Right.
And I think since we did our initial episode on it, it's been like 1 or 2 between this and Blame Game for a long time. But for the last like few years now, it's been number 1 for me.
I mean, this is the song where it has just become something. I feel like I remember the moment, actually. Like I've listened to this song a million times, but it's maybe you're sick of me referencing my running playlist, but it came up on a run I had once, and I don't know. You never know like why like whatever moment you're in, the energy, the space, like sometimes the song just hits you in a way that like it clicks. And I remember specifically a run I was on, and like Hell of a Life kind of clicked in a way that it hadn't before. Like I understand the song, I know what it's doing, and you'll hear us talk about it, but like it suddenly revealed itself to be this ethereal entity. Like it stepped up a level and became something I was like, oh God, like if someone wants to understand how incredible Kanye West is, they need to listen to and understand Hell of a Life. They have to listen to Hell of a Life like a million times until they get it. And then the second it clicks, they'll be like, holy shit, this guy's on a different level. Like, so now that song has that energy to me. And like, at this point, I think it's my number one Kanye song, period.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes me so happy to hear.
Yeah. I knew you'd be happy to hear that.
I might put it over. I thought about Killing You at this point. That's 1-2 right now between that and Hell of a Life, which is so atypical.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, there's just something. It's the grunginess of the production, but yet how melodic it is and how much it just kind of flows. So you're getting this grunge, but it never like slows, which I find very interesting. And it's kind of a dark song.
Oh, yeah.
But it pops continuously with these like bright vocals and like bright production elements. And yeah. And you get the kind of this like beauty throughout, even though it's talking about these like very heavy things. And just like some of the bars in each of the verses are just like bars, right? They're bars. They're bars on bars where I find them so fascinating. And it's like there's a whole scene that's playing out, like a story that's playing out, of course, across all three verses, but each verse is in itself its own little chapter and mini scene. Like the vignettes that I talk about on Gorgeous, or that we'll talk about on Gorgeous, are just like doubled and tripled in terms of the audacity on this song. And I think it's the embodiment of the album.
Totally. That's what I wanted to ultimately get at. Like, it's tough because I don't want to go into the lyrics too much and like reveal too much. It'll be so much better if we just wait until we get to the episode. But it really does, like, it perfectly captures what Kanye's trying to say in the album. And really Kanye just in general, especially at that stage in his life, like it's such a perfect statement on fame and like your place in the world and how lonely you can feel. Like every image, every line, like the way it sounds, the way it feels, the way it ends. Again, we'll get into it, but like all of that, like perfectly sums up what it's like to be Kanye West, somebody who's trying to become famous. And then it's just like, you hit a wall and it's awful. Like this song captures all of that.
In the twisted fantasy as well, because it's like the setting is like a fantasy that he's having. So it's just like, it's the album within the album, and that meta aspect and relationship that it has to everything else. It's like everything kind of leads up to it and then spins out from it. It's the climax on the album. And even though Runaway feels like the climax on the album, the true like thematic narrative climax is Hell of a Life.
That's the other great part of it, is like it comes after Runaway. It comes after this beauty, which is why I think a lot of people probably don't like it. But that actually makes it better once you realize what it's doing. Like, it's a perfect follow-up to Runaway. Like, it is supposed to be ugly and confrontational, and it doesn't want you to like it almost. Like, everything about it's just like the energy, the aura around it. So once it clicks, like it's the best.
Yeah. And hopefully this is what, causes it to click for everyone. And they'll hear our episode and be like, damn, Chris and Trav.
Yeah.
You nailed it.
It's just the perfect case of, like, we always talk about it, showing, not telling. Like, this song is like the ultimate example of it.
Especially the end. I mean, my God. Okay, sorry. We won't go into it. I want to. Yeah. But yeah. Some people, if you've heard the Dissect season, you know the theory. We popularized the theory.
Yeah,
That
we
was
came up with it first in this show back when we did our first season on it. So
yeah. And I think if you listen to the end on that episode, Cole gives us a nice shout outs. But it's one of the funniest things to be like known for.
yeah, I'm proud of it. That's another reason I love this song. Like, I don't know. It's like such a crucial part of this show in a way. I can't wait to talk about it again.
Yeah. So, all right. Those are our rankings. We'll see how they change.
Yeah.
From beginning to end.
I think there's going to be some changes.
I think there's definitely room for shifts.
Yeah.
Like power might jump like way up.
I mean, I'm sitting here thinking I'd move Monster. Like, there's so many position changes I want to make now, let alone, 12 weeks from now. So